I'm finally back home from Vegas and there's a lot to talk about, guys. But before I get into this video, I want to thank SEI. I want to thank them for paying for my flight, my food, transportation, and basically everything. They took care of me and everybody else 100%. So here I'm going to show you and walk you through everything that went down day by day. Yes, I recorded everything, bro. I get that camera, I get to work. That's just how I operate. That's the content creator in me. So let's get it popping. I thought the first day was going to be slow and we were not going to do a lot of stuff, but I was wrong. And it was pretty fun. They picked me up from the airport. It was by groups. On my first group, it was me, King Juice, and Trey Sold. I have to say, Trey Sold has to be one of the funniest dudes I ever met in my life. I fuck with you heavy, Trey. Look, man, I feel like in another life, me and you, partner, we could be best friends. I'm just saying. I'm just glad you came over, bro. All right, we got through the glaze. Now, back to the point. Airport, we go get lunch. The creators, SCI, we're getting to meet each other. We're having a good times, good vibes, and it was pretty cool. It was really dope because I really got to meet people that I actually interact with on the daily basis, like JMMA, Shep, Sage, and all the boys. After lunch, they took us to the SCI office, and the SCI office has a Jorge Linares fight kit. But not just any fight kit, a fight kit he wore on fight night, alongside with the belt from fight night. Isn't that awesome? They also had other art on their room, so I was locked in with the B-roll, man. I was like, okay, here we go. This is for YouTube, for TikTok, Instagram. When I told you I was locked in with the B-roll, I was locked in. We stayed on the office until like 6 p.m. At 7 p.m., we walked down to the HyperX Arena for the first time ever, and we saw everything. I have to say, brother, the quality of this event was an 11 out of 10. For how fast this was put together, it ran smooth. Like, just seeing the production quality for the first time ever was really mind-blowing, bro. Everybody was mind-blown. That shit was clean. I know you can see it right now on screen, and you're probably thinking it looks clean. Well, in person, it looked cleaner. They took us to the back. They explained everything that was going to happen the next day because, mind you, all of this is happening on day one. Yes, we went there, we took a look, a little tour, and then we did our interviews. Yes, they're interviews. And that's why I say for how fast everything was done, 11 out of 10, because on the first day at night, we did our interviews. By the next day, they were done and ready to go. Once I get mine, I'll post it here along with the fights, which I don't have yet. I'm still waiting for them to send those to me. Just be on the lookout. There's 2 fights of me. Bangers, bangers, bangers. And day 1 ended with dinner. Day 2, we go to the office in the morning, then walks Ash Habib and Todd Grisham. We had a real conversation with Ash, face to face, and I really appreciate the fact that he answered every single question we had. And he had a question for us. His question was, what is one thing that you don't like about the game? And I want everybody here, us the creators, to answer that.
What I want from each of you guys is tell me one thing you really don't like about the game.
And here's what I said. I would say loose footwork, like in this adjustment. Like, I feel like loose footwork doesn't, like, there's no tax and people abuse it a lot. Like, a lot of people like get on matches, get on loose footwork, and they start running from the first round. And I think it shouldn't be like that. That's something I don't like about the game.
How many of you use loose footwork?
We use it, but we don't abuse it. And these are some of the questions that I think you guys will be more interested in. So play it, DS, play it.
I'm not gonna say no. Okay. It's been a no so far, right? But with many fighters who are in the game now, they were also no in the early days or during the middle periods, right? So I think here's the thing, right? I think the bigger Undisputed has got, the more easier it's been for us to sign fighters, right? Yeah. And it's understandable for fighters to turn around and say, well, you ain't EA Sports, like, you know, what games have you made? It's like, well, nothing really. Steve helped us sign many fighters, right? And you know, Steve's own reputation was kind of on the line.
Well, guys, I can tell you this: we tried everybody. We came up with the list, tried to pare it down, and I was part of the original crew along with Jose. So basically, we tried to say, hey, who are like 1,000 boxers that would be good for the game, past, current, present. And we always have a running list. So basically the way it would work is I'd have to call a representative of the fighter. I tried never to reach the fighter by himself. Even if I did, I said, who's your manager or a lawyer? We tried to make this above board. So then we could write a book on this. We would present a deal. And my protocol was, as soon as they said, we're interested, and I shoot it up to Jose, I give him the general parameters of the deal. But he can tell you that these guys wanted ownership, the firstborn, they wanted a car, and we're thinking, hey guys, you know, and so the funny thing was, so I'd go Undisputed, and they'd be like, Undisputed what? No, that's the name, and you're right. There was this thing about you're not EA. You're right, but our point was EA has not made a game in a decade, and what we found out was the advantage, but also made our jobs more difficult in recruiting fighters. When you do the Major League Baseball, NFL, and even the UFC, they have a players' union where they have a license with a collective bargaining agreement. So once you make a deal with the league, you're getting every single player in that union. Boxing, every single guy, even if they're with the promoter, they're all independent contractors. So it's not like I can call Bob Arum and he gives us every single top-ranked fighter. We had to go to every single top-ranked fighter individually, and some of the managers were very compliant. They understood the vision. They said, we'll work with you, we want the exposure. Other guys literally wanted ownership, and we're like, we haven't even put out a game yet.
Yeah. DLC-wise, the reality is we've got to pay these guys, right? So like nobody's gonna come into the game. Obviously, we're not gonna expect anyone to come in for free. We pay everybody, and I think with regards to DLC, it's just literally a way for us to be able to pay all the fighters that are on top of everybody else that we're paying already.
He sat down with us for an hour answering questions we all had. So I really appreciate that. After that was done, he gave us some merch, and then we head back to the hotel because it was time to lock in. The calm before the storm. So we get a 3-hour downtime window. Then we get back to the arena early. I'm walking around just feeling the vibes. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not feeling nervous at all. When I got to the arena, I'm like, okay, it's time. I get to the stage, Todd Grisham calls me up, and I'm looking around just at the people. I'm like, yeah, it's time to perform. On my head, I'm like, you see all these killers? I'm one of them too. Fuck yeah. Then they take us backstage and we do our matches. I got through the first round and then I fought Cold-Blooded. I can't wait for you guys to watch that fight. That Cold-Blooded fight, bro, high level shit, bro. I currently don't have the fights. Once I get them, I promise you I will post them. Be on the lookout for that fight specifically. The Cold-Blooded fight, bro, it was a chess match for real. Shout out to Cold-Blooded, bro. And since I didn't make it to the finals, I decided to get some drinks. Shout out to Trey Soul, bro, because he put me on. I got not one, not two, but 3 drinks. I was lit, bro. Then I joined the crowd and I was watching the fights myself with my drinks. But what I really want to talk about is how many actual boxers were there. James Toney, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. walked past by me like this. Crazy. Cines Estrada, Carl Froch, Antonio Tarver. Damn, bro, so many actual boxers in there. The semifinals was between iGame You Watch and Finite Finest. And Finite Finest got a controversial decision, and here is how the crowd reacted.
Scorecard. But you never know, this is boxing. Stranger things have happened.
You got that right. I've seen some things thinking the ring five.
All right, final seconds here in our first semifinal. And we will go to the judges' scorecard. Will it be iGame You Watch or Fight Night's Finest? They gave it.
What? Whoa! What happened, Todd?
Fight Night's Finest gets the decision. iGame You Watch can't believe it.
What happened, Todd?
And if I'm being completely honest, I think iGame You Watch won that fight. Then we had the finals and the champ Box IBU got his belt. A real WBC belt. And at the end, we had a little ceremony where the president of the WBC himself gave us one of this, bro. Hold up. Can you see that right? The quality on this thing is crazy. Can you hear that? And then look at the back of it. Sitting pretty. For the last day, I took my first boxing class ever with pro boxer Amelia Moore. 10 out of 10 experience. Throwing punches really gets you fucking tired, bro. What day is it right now? Right now is Monday. This video is probably dropping Tuesday. My thigh still hurts right now. It's fucking crazy, bro. We worked footwork, back work, and some of the guys sparred, but I wasn't really feeling ready yet to spar, so I took a bench on that. But these guys were going at it, you know what I'm saying? It was fun, bro. It was fun. And then at night we went to the Terrence Crawford Canelo fight. This is crazy, bro. My first fight ever was Canelo versus Crawford. Mind blown. I want to say thank you to SCI, but most importantly, I want to say thank you for watching this video. Without you, there's no King 12 Diaz on the Canelo Crawford fight. There's no King 12 Diaz on Vegas, or none of this, bro. Without your support, there's no King 12 Diaz at all. So thank you. Now be on the lookout for the fights. Once I get them, the actual fights from the tournament, I will be posting them. Until then, it was your host, King Diaz, and thank you for watching.